Manic Mincers is the final cave level that we'll see in Donkey Kong Country. It's arguably the most visually distinct cave level in the game too. With its pallid green hue, it invokes a feeling of nausea and a sense of rot deep in the bones of the island. My god. My god, how pretentious was that for an intro? This is a game for children. Who do I think I am? What am I doing with my life? All of these questions and more will be answered shortly. This is part 35 of Overthinking Donkey Kong Country. I just lied to you. None of those questions are going to be answered. But I do want to circle back to that intro later because while it was pretentious, I stand by all the points I made. Let's get into it. Manic Mincers revolves around the Manic Mincers. These giant monster truck tire looking things with spikes coming out of them. We've seen them before in Torchlight Trouble and Poison Pond, so they're not exactly unique to this level, but they are the main attraction. And I think they can tell us a lot about this level if we look at not just them, but where they're positioned in the level. So they're not that dissimilar from real-world mining machinery, and they're in a cave that's been mined out. So there's that connection. Obviously, we're going to have to use our imagination a bit, but I don't think this observation is too wild. Taking that into account, look at where they're placed. Not all of them, but a lot of them are placed over pits and grooves, moving in and out of the spaces. My theory is this: the mincers were left here, and just kept right on doing their thing, to the point where they completely carved out grooves in the environment. You can see where the ground is carved out from the circular mincers, where pits have been made by the vertical moving mincers. They were left here because the Kremlings abandoned the area in a hurry, and I think I know why. Remember the start of the video where I talked about this level like a sommelier would talk about wine? Remember how gross that was? I was onto something though, wasn't I? I don't think the color of this level is merely aesthetic, designed to differentiate it from the cave levels that came before it. I think there's a method to the madness. I think the reason the Kremlings abandoned this area of the caverns, not even bothering to turn off the drilling machinery, is because they pulled a Moria and drilled too far, tapping into something toxic which then flooded the unventilated space, causing a mass evacuation. What have we seen before that's all green and toxic looking? First of all, I'm sorry for that sentence. Second, it's Poison Pond, you dummy. Pond seems more apt now. Look at the overworld map for Kremkrok Industries. The grooves in the cliffside are clearly from the mining operation, but you can make out what used to be a natural river. Maybe melting ice from the glacier used to run down here. It's neither here nor there. What's important is that there's less water than there used to be. The Kremlings clearly have no regard for the environment. We've gone into stupid detail over that concept throughout the series. So the toxic waste from the refineries would have likely made its way to the water supply. There's evidence of that in Poison Pond, as we've discussed before, but Poison Pond might have been a poison lake once upon a time, and when the Kremlings accidentally drilled under it, much of the toxic water flooded into the caverns, leaving only the pond we see in the overworld. Now, it's obvious that the cave's air is breathable, and there's no water to be seen, so that tells me it happened a real long time ago. The water has since drained out of the cave, possibly into the pool that's visible at the bottom of the overworld screen, but the effects of the incident can be seen on the cave walls, now stained puke green from the toxic waste in the water. Alright, that's all I've got for Manic Mincers. It's a fine level, I guess. I have nothing negative to say about it. What are your thoughts on my theory? I know all of these videos should be taken with a grain of salt, but with some of them, they aren't that unbelievable. And I feel this level's one of those. At risk of sounding like a broken record, thank you all so damn much for watching. I really do appreciate every one of you, and am grateful for all of it. Any likes, comments, subscribers, whatever. None of you owe me a thing, but here you are, and I don't take it for granted. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next one.